Good morning. Good morning. I'm going to get to the top and sit down. Good morning. How's everybody doing? It was 37 degrees when I started my walk. I've been out here for an hour, so it's warmer now, but still not warm by any stretch of the imagination. Heads up, by the way, that last night I made a charcuterie board for the kids, and I put raspberries out and I rinsed them. I didn't soak them. I mean, whatever. I'm sure there are great moms who soak all their fruit in vinegar and water or salt water or whatever. I don't. I typically just rinse them really well. Long story short, there was a worm inside one of the raspberries. And my children are now scarred for life. So heads up that you really should be soaking your fruit, apparently, because I've never really done it, and now my kids are scarred for life about the frickin' raspberries. The worm raspberries. Anyway, I want to talk to you about narcissistic triangulation, because in my therapy, getting over my abusive boyfriend, I learned about triangulation, and it's a very covert narcissistic trait. There are obviously overtly narcissistic people that are grandiose and very easy to spot. But covert narcissists are a little bit harder to spot because they don't have the same inflated sense of self or inflated ego. And so sometimes with covert narcissists, you're even dealing with somebody who appears insecure. Okay? Like they actually appear insecure. Like their behavior, the way they present to the world, they do things like jealousy and things like that that make them seem insecure. But really, it's all a manipulation tool. They're not really insecure. They actually believe they are better than you. But they have learned to use this attention-seeking behavior as a passive-aggressive way to manipulate you. And I want to tell you what triangulation means. Narcissistic triangulation is the bringing in of a third party. It doesn't even have to be an actual person that you know. It is just using a third party to convey a feeling, an emotion, information. So a more obvious triangulation would be a lover telling you that they had a conversation with their ex, and that their ex suddenly has new feelings for them or misses them. They're not going to do anything, and they still want to be with you. They're just being truthful. They're just letting you know that they ran into their ex, and this is how their ex feels. More times than not, this is a this is like a oh my God, Donna, your comment was so distracting. Imagine being so fucking like that you in the middle of a conversation, you have to put your fucking opinion out there when other people are trying to be helped, and you're over it. Okay. Sorry, guys. I super fucking distracted. So that's a much more obvious triangulation. But sometimes there is triangulation with ex-lovers, say, where the ex-lover actually isn't present in the manipulation, but they will bring them up or use them against you. So you feel like there is a third party in your relationship. My ex-boyfriend that I was with would always bring up his ex-girlfriend. And he would either say things like, oh, you're just like so-and-so. She used to do the same thing, right? Or he would do the opposite and say, looking back, I really didn't have it so bad with so-and-so. Because you make my fucking, you're impossible to communicate with. Everything's a whining. You're never happy. She at least. And so I felt that she was part of our relationship, good or bad, negative or positive, whatever. It was a tactic called triangulation. She had no idea that she was part of that conversation. She didn't ask to be part of our relationship. In the end, he ended up cheating on me with her, but that's neither here nor there. So that's one way. Another way is they pass information to you through a third party. So, how can I give you a good example? I want to give you an example of how he did this to me Christine, that's a very good wondering. You need to do soul searching if you do this. Mothers can also do this. Mothers do this by way of like speaking about one child while the other child is within earshot. Olivia always makes good grades, always prepares for her exams. She makes parenting so easy, right? If I said things like that in front of Max and Charlie, that's a form of triangulation, because what it's doing is it's using Olivia to manipulate the feelings of Max and Charlie, and then it turns them against each other. And narcissistic mothers love to do that. The other thing narcissistic mothers love to do is they love to have conversations with siblings where they actually say bad things about you, but they'll tell you that your sibling agreed with them. So they'll never say that the sibling said it, but they'll say, well, when I was talking to so-and-so and I told her how you never think about anybody but yourself, she didn't disagree. Well, that's not the same fucking thing, right? But the way they present it makes it seem like the whole world is against you. Like everybody around you sees a flaw in you that they see. And that's triangulation. That's a big one. Mothers who do that, that's a big one. And obviously spouses can do it too. Spouses can do it too. So, and the triangulation just always involves the presence, whether it's emotional, mental, physical, of another person in the dynamic. And when you have that going on, it is so passively, aggressively narcissistic, because it takes all of the attention and power and gives it to the person that's doing the triangulation, because it breeds mistrust amongst you and either them, which makes you insecure, or you and the people they're using the triangulation with. Because if your mother can interfere with your relationship with your siblings, then there's no strength in numbers, right? Then there's no strength in numbers. See, what siblings have on their side is they are a pack. And what did Rudyard Kipling say? The strength of the wolf is the pack. Period. And when a mother feels that a narcissistic mother feels she doesn't have the power, she may not be an overt narcissist where she's just fucking crazy, but she may be a covert narcissist where she uses triangulation to drive wedges between siblings. And that is very dangerous. Because once they are able to put a seed of doubt or mistrust in you, another thing is, that's a big thing, isolation. like passive aggressive narcissists love to plant seeds of doubt about people in your relationship because they don't want you to have successful relationships outside of them. They want the full need and the full weight you have on them, right? They want you to rely solely on them for love, affection, conversation, need, whatever it is, right? That's a huge sign of a narcissist when they need to be your sole source of the person who wants to be your best friend right away, and they call you 15 times a day and you got to tell them everything. That's red flag. But and God, if I have fucking fallen for that one, stay in my apartment. I'll drive you around. You don't even have to rent a car. Do this. Suddenly you realize you don't see anybody else when you go to LA. You don't do anything else. They're involved in every part of your life, your business, your family, your friends. And you turn around, you're like, remember that song, Don't Turn Around? Yeah, because you're going to see the narcissist who's literally taken over every part of your life. And you let the snake in, so you have nobody to blame but yourself. But that thing where they say little things like, do you think Mary really has your best interest? And you're like, Mary? Yeah, what do you mean? That's my sister, of course. I don't know. It's like, I feel like, whatever. Or like, do you feel like do you think your relationship with Courtney is healthy? Me, arrived Jamie 45. No, my relationship with Courtney isn't healthy. It's codependent as a motherfucker. But also what you're trying to do by planting a seed of doubt about me and my best friend, that's not going to work on me because I grew up with that. I'm too smart. Like, I see that coming a mile away. Mostly. Last couple of years. But you know what I'm saying. Like, when they try to plant seeds of doubt, like I will never, ever, 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 ever forget, ever in my life, a week after Olivia was born, Michael had to leave to go away for business. And somebody who claimed to love me, I was nursing, bleeding, tired. I was 5 days postpartum after pushing an 8-pound, 15-ounce baby out of my hoop-de-hoop. And I was so sore and big and swollen and bleeding and tired and emotional and scared. And my husband was leaving me to go away and all this. And the person who claimed to love me more than anything walked into my room and said, do you think Michael cheats on you when he goes out of town? Lasai, people. Lasai. And it is in those moments that you realize you don't deserve that. You didn't ask for that. That actually has nothing to do with you. That is a damaged human being who, for whatever reason, needs to plant a seed of doubt in the family that you are building outside of them. As you grow your nuclear family away from the one you were born into, and they feel threatened by the distance and the security that you have found outside of them, that is just them wanting to plant a seed of doubt in your mind and in your heart. And you know what? If you're vulnerable and weak, like I was in that moment, you'll let it sting real bad. But let me be the only one that has to suffer that. Don't let it get to you. Don't let it get to you. Because covert narcissists who are passive aggressive, people who say things to you like, you look so good. Do you really want to eat that? You look so, all the work you've done. You don't want to undo that. Bitch, shut the fuck up. Okay? Shut up and get out of my mouth. Like, seriously, It's different if you're a mom and your kids consume too much sugar. My kids make a big joke. Oh, you could eat my protein balls. You could eat. Yeah, because if I didn't offer my kids healthy snacks, they would eat fucking flaming hot Cheetos till their assholes fell out. Okay, so yes, I do offer them healthy snacks, and I do limit, because they run amok. They'll drink 50 Sunny D's, 80 fucking apple juice boxes. Like, no, this is not what we're doing today, Taki crew. This is not what we're doing today, flaming Takis people. Consuming so much red dye 45, you're going to start to fucking look like Elmo. Okay? But there's a difference between like parenting and like if I were to say to something to Olivia like, do you really want to eat that? Like your skin is finally so clear. You know? No. You offer better choices. Okay, you're hungry? Let's not eat French fries. I'll make you something. What would you like? I'll give you this or this. There's got to be healthier ways to deal with people than passive-aggressive covert narcissism. There just has to be. And I've already lived through it, and I've suffered through it, and I did it in life, and I did it in business, and I did it in love, and I did it with my family, and it's exhausting, and it's demoralizing, and it's confusing, and I don't want anybody else to go through it. So is there too much stuff about narcissists on social media? Probably. But it's because it negatively affects so many people, and they need to know they're not alone. They're not alone. You're not crazy. You don't deserve it. It's not just you. Anyway, how did I handle the question? I looked at her and tears immediately in my eyes because I was so hormonal and whatever. And I said, really? Are you really asking me that right now? And she was like, never mind. I can't say anything. Never mind. Forget I said it. All of a sudden, like I was too sensitive. Forget I said it. No, you see, that's just the thing. We don't ever forget that you said it. That's the thing about words is they can't be taken back. They can be apologized for, but apologies only work when they come with changed behavior. And I do believe people can change, by the way. I absolutely believe people can change. But sometimes it takes a resurrection for people to change. Sometimes they have to actually see the body of Christ gone from the tomb. And Jesus himself now walking on fucking water to be like, oh, I'm changed. But okay, like I feel like if God could send an act like the resurrection to show people that Jesus could fulfill the promise of the premise, then who am I to say that I can't extend a big gesture to help people change? I'm certainly, that's why I wear my cross to the side. I'm certainly on this journey trying to figure out how to forgive. Believe me. And sometimes I am reminded not to get religious, by the way, even if you don't believe, just the story beats alone, pretend it's a movie. God sent his only son to be crucified for us, right? So forget the belief system. He literally, people watched this man be nailed to a cross. Okay? He told them, do not intervene. Let thy will be done. This man told them, don't free me. Don't fucking cut me down. Don't whatever. And in that moment, Jesus cried out to God, forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do. But it was all part of it. Then people still didn't believe. So God was like, okay, remember when he said he was going to rise on the third day, blah, blah, blah? Boom. Then people started to believe like, oh shit, maybe we really shouldn't have killed this dude. Maybe this dude was whatever. My point is he kept showing them ways that they could be forgiven. And so I try very hard to look at the people who love me, who have learned covert narcissistic behavior. It is learned. and they project it on me and they hurt me. And I try to find, what is my resurrection, Lord? How do I forgive them in my third act, Lord? Because I'm 45 and I'm rounding that corner. I am solidly middle-aged. Let's just assume I live to be 85. I'm halfway there, or a little more. I'm literally Bon Jovi living on a prayer. So how do I get through all this? I have to unpack it and talk about it. I have to. You know? But I got to put the life preserver and the oxygen tank on my face first. So I got to save me first. Except for my kids. But you know what I mean. So I just want to make you aware of triangulation, because a lot of times we don't see that third party that they use against you, even if it's not a person, even if it's a hearsay or a she never did this, or she always did this, or you're nothing like her, or you could never be. Now there's a third party in this relationship, and that's a big red flag. A big red flag. Okay, we're going to talk about this again tomorrow, because I feel like I have a lot more to say and a lot more examples to give you. So if you're curious, if you have a covert narcissist in your life, part 2 coming up tomorrow. Okay, I love you guys so much. Have a great, great day.